Hey, Joan. It's your good friend John from Baton Rouge. We've gotten together a little poetry reading like we discussed over the phone about a week ago. And I've assembled some of my friends here who are not the only poets in Baton Rouge, but who are, that's right, the group consensus is that we're the most important poets. And the people who are here tonight are from different places, which is kind of typical of this scene right now. There's a writing school here now. A lot of these people were here in town before the writing school started. Basically, who you're going to hear? You're going to hear myself, John Verlenden, and then you're going to hear Richard Collins, who is from California himself and has been here in town for a number of years teaching at the university. You'll hear Deborah Salazar, who has an interesting past in that her parents immigrated from Ecuador when she was small, and although she grew up in the Baton Rouge area, she has grown up in a different sort of way. And we've got Barbara Fritchie Hart, who is currently the director of Baton Rouge Gallery here and has been, I think, a Baton Rouge native all her life. And then we've got Laura Rosenthal, who comes from right across the river in Port Allen and has also been in Baton Rouge most of her life. And finally, we've got the only known national personality, our good friend, who we don't like to call him that, but our good friend, that's right, Jack the Ripper, Andrei Codrescu, who people that are listening to your program might recognize from National Public Radio, where he does some commentary and some book reviews. This will be a chance for him to read some of his poetry, which I don't think gets very many chances to do on National Public Radio. So we're just going to do this the way we have a reading here in town from time to time, which is going to be informal. All of us are going to read 2 or 3 or 4 poems, and I'll get everyone to introduce themselves when they get up to the mic, and hopefully your readers will, or your listeners that is, will get an idea of what's going on here a long ways from where you are. I'm going to read the first poems. First poem is called North Beach Eddie's Late Easter Poem. And I realize this is a long ways from Easter, but put yourself in the mood. It's June, and I hope the hell he's still on the ground. Not for my sake, understand, knowing no better than you the precise manner of our molder, but for his, because of all those chocolate bunnies. Once I saw this Jesus look-alike in old San Francisco pry the aluminum off one and puke alongside his poor boy of port and wonder whether it was ear or tail that done it. And the whole crossed-up thing maybe 2 months on the bargain shelf before he got his grubby hands on fuchsia face, gold tummy, green 3 pads per paw. Boy. But did that bum ever rise from off those pebbles at Union Square Park? I ain't seen it. And I wouldn't waste resurrections darker, more fun, 1 to the 10 spot up on Broadway and Grant to check on the old Cap's progress. Eddie's springtime motto is, get an ache that doesn't bring you down. Okay, next poem, called Poem of the Crazy Didact. The whole gaga world which awaited my edifying word raves on. Crooks, whores, taxmen, novelists, creepy poets, they might have learned to love what they ignore, if only this irascible dictum of mine had chosen another fleshly agent, more perfect for its jarring dissemination. God should be damned then, not me. Our sisters of divine mercy are full of me and my kind, speaking our minds atop safety rubber chairs propped atop everyone's tax dollar, and we submit. God is damned. Yet I believe his truth still stands, unvarnished, unargued, solitary, like a billy goat in the middle of everyone's shit. I believe people need him and me like they need some cosmic questionnaire which asks them over and over what the fuck they're doing here. It's sad. I know now I'm not the one, and the one of which I speak will never be. But if that one was the one with the final truth, then that one by all rights should have been me. This is a shout, a scrapbook. The time after your time, a peanut hull. Scratch that, Freud begins. A wafer, the raison d'etre. Any semblance being a lie. You think you can lick the whole rebel army? Paraphrase. El momentus interruptus. I'm sorry. Hypotenuse polyhedron triathlete. Monster. Loaf. We died. In France. Class. Whole. The religiosity of her garbage. Queequeg, fuck good name, no? We sail through portals, so what ship is this on? The mimeograph broke Thursday. A damn good thing. The Merchant's Holiness Bazaar. Itlog, quay, dynamite. The suspenders that held the whole blank up. Mountebank, Mounties, miasmic kiss-off. Ah, that's goo. Fortune of midnight. Third world. Not even the first one, asshole. See? That is not me, solo mio. To encapsulate the capsule, Frank Sinatra. Give one up, try two. Take two before. Now to say grace, Saskatchewan. Okay, the next reader will be Richard Collins, and I'll let him introduce himself.
Personal ads are different in Louisiana than they are in California. These are some poems found in the personals in Baton Rouge. It's called Serious Inquiries Only. Not available in any bar, only through this ad. Looks don't matter, race unimportant, age, weight, children okay, no marital intentions, reply with your desires. 1. I'm a white widow in her 70s and too much life for my age. That's why I'd like to meet someone who does not hang in bars or use drugs to share my life. I love home, little trips, nice music. I'm clean and a little old-fashioned. I'd like a mature man who doesn't sit and sleep in front of the TV. 2. Most people say I'm dull, yet I believe I'm just a quiet and lonely type of guy looking for a homely type of girl. If you are 5'3" or above and 140 pounds or below, with green eyes and good bones, you could wrap me around your little finger. 3. Country girl, dark hair, 20, naturally cute due to accident, slight limp, but it doesn't affect the things I like to do. I am fun to be with and still live with my parents. I am seeking a man who can understand that I can't really run wild. 4. Queen-size Scorpio, shy, green eyes, speaks German, very fair, hair more salt than pepper. I don't like feeling USDA inspected in the singles bars, and there's more to life anyway, like sensuous clothing, back rubs, rib tickling by firelight, changing careers, not diapers. I sparkle to nicknames. I've had my fill of road lizards. I love long-haired cats. I'd like to meet a guy who's fun, impulsive, and original, but also blends when necessary. A big man with matching sense of humor, maybe, to stimulate me. Full-figured, dieting, love plump. In 30 pounds, I'll be a fox. 5. Helicopter pilot raised in Ohio, black hair, green eyes, good body, My main events are martial arts and occult sciences. I like slow dancing, some books, TV, VCR, and CW music. Steady job, good company, recently resingled. Just evil enough to have loads of fun. Looking for same. This is no game. 6. Our mom is looking for a guy to have a great relationship with, possibly lasting. Male model type who loves to do things, also must love kids and sad movies 'cause she's very feminine and attractive. 30, divorced, with 2 beautiful little reproductions. My sister is 7, and I am a boy. Another poem about the battle or the temporary ceasefire of the sexes called All the Little Boys Come, or What Every Little Girl Knows or Suspects. All the little boys come to sit on sister's lap. All the little boys kiss sister till her lip is fat. All the little boys have airs and wave their arms like axes. All the little boys say words to get a big reaction. All the little girls like peacocks, all the little boys have interests, all the little boys eat insects, all the little boys build boxes, all the little girls steal kisses, all the little boys are bad. All the little boys don't know the meaning of the word subtle, all the little boys are certain they're irresistible, all the little boys are sure they're undeniable, all the little boys have ways of getting what they think they want, all the little girls think they're just like all the boys except all the little girls have ways of wanting what they think they get. All the little boys are dull, all the little boys show off, and when all the little girls know it, all the little girls whisper it, all the little boys are full of it, all the little boys take off. All the little girls know something all the little boys reject, all the little girls show something all the little boys suspect, all the little boys are dying from all the little girls' neglect, all the little girls sit tight and winking to each other let. All the little boys think all the little girls are getting wet. All the little girls are tempted, all the little boys are sad. All the little boys are sleepy, all the little girls are glad. All the little girls are tested, all the little boys are had. All the little boys are touchy, all the little girls are mad. All the little girls feel a tightness in their situations, all the little girls feel a rightness in their radio stations. All the little girls have faith in their 2-part inventions. All the little girls are split by good or bad intentions. All the little boys kiss hard and fast, and after kissing nap, all the little girls sit up and contemplate a gap. When all the little girls are lonely, all the little boys are gay. When all the little girls are beauties, all the little boys are gray. When all the little girls are coming, all the little boys can't stay. While all the little boys assemble, telling tales of tit for tat, all the little girls are trembling dreams of grown-up boys, so that all the little boys resemble grown-up boys, except in that all the little boys are coming to sit in sister's lap, and all the little boys are fragrant with non-committal sap. And the last poem is called Void of Course. I envy the dead. They always know what to expect. I envy the dead for being as young and stupid as ever and never having to go to the dentist. I envy the dead, they've got it made. I envy the dead, they're well spoken of. I envy the dead for their experience and their perseverance and their eternal apprenticeship and lack of ambition and vision. I envy the dead, they're dark. I envy the dead because they're necessary. I envy the dead their laughterless sleep and their peaceful jokes, which are always in good taste. I envy the dead because they're dead. I envy the dead no less for having lived. I envy the dead, why not? I envy the dead because I envy anyone without envy.
Deborah, you want to go ahead? Why don't you say, who you are when you get up there? Okay.
Okay. I'm Deborah Salazar. I'm taller than my voice would have you believe. Hate the way my voice sounds on the radio. It's squeaky. Okay. This poem is called Repetition is Relevant, Repetition is Relevant. Repetition is relevant. I think I read that somewhere before. Maybe I read it in the rain or in the Bible, and there were many lovers after that and much joy. You are a drug, she said. You are cherry-flavored cough syrup. He went down on her like a kitten lapping milk. Maybe I read it in the rain or in the Bible. Who is the bad man? He is the one who gets the suicide note, who stands at the christening, who catches the bouquet. Who is the good man? I think his name is Bernie. The woman said, this is as bad as it ever gets. The other woman said, you are doomed to say that again. I think I've read that somewhere before. You are criminally attractive, I said. You have a glamorous gloom. My lazy, light-hearted, alliterative self believed it, thinking that this is as bad as things ever get. He went down on her like a kitten lapping milk. She sang to herself while I gnawed on my knuckles. He said, good thing I killed the suicide idea last week. And there were many lovers after that and much joy. I know I read that somewhere before. Maybe I read that in the rain or in the Bible. She sang to herself while I gnawed on my knuckles. This is her song of songs, which is the song of Bernie. Have you seen the one whom my soul loveth? His hair, it is tall like a lawn that needs mowing. His face, it is as a sidewalk, is long and gray. His eyes, they are as green as the ditch water in which silver minnows dart about like witticisms. Have you seen the slouch-shouldered one whom my soul loveth? His mouth, it tilts to one side because of a great prejudice. His neck, it is so fat because it must support the weight of his head, which is full of thoughts. His ears, they are as two small roses are weak and useless. I think I read that somewhere before. I think I read that somewhere before I knew what I was doing. Before I knew what I was doing, she went down on me like a kitten lapping milk. Before she went down, her heart gave out, the pain let up. You are criminally attractive, I said. You have a glamorous gloom. He said, I think I've read this somewhere before. We agreed that this is as bad as things ever get. It never lets up. This is as bad as it ever gets. He said she sang to herself while she was being raped. This is as bad as things ever get. She sang, this is as bad as things ever get. She went to the hospital and back to the apartment where she sang, this is as bad as things ever get. I think I've read that somewhere before, and before, and before, and before the stitches came out, every day she had to go back to that apartment. It was on the second floor. Before the stitches came out, she sat on the bottom step and butted her way up, backwards, back to that apartment, step by step, every day, so the stitches wouldn't come out. Before the stitches came out, I went down, my heart went out, the pain let up. This is as bad as it ever gets. She said, if I ever see my face again, I won't let you back into your own apartment, but she let you back, she let you up. It never lets up, he said. I'm sorry I let you down. Her children did not know what they were doing, and there were many lovers after that and much joy. You are a drug, you are cherry-flavored cough suppressant, she said. He said, it never lets up. Ani ohevotra, he said, I love you in Hebrew, and my lazy alliterative self believed him in Latin. I think I've read that somewhere before. It was alliterative, it was relevant. You fucker, you followed me this far. I said that. I read that in the rain or in the Bible. Meanwhile, in Taos, a tourist leaned wrong way against the rail. She looked over the great gorge. In Taos, a tourist looked wrong way against the rail, a lens cap like a black target over his heart, and there were many lovers after that and much joy. She looked over the great gorge. My wife, she is all queened up on a camel. I let her down. And smelling like oil, smelling like food and perfume, my children, they go out, my arms go out, and the bad man is singing while I gnaw my knuckles. This is as bad as things ever get. It never lets up. It goes couplet, couplet. This is as bad as things ever get. Couple, couplet, couple, couplet. And there were many lovers after that and much joy.
Okay. My name is Barbara Fritchie. We'll start over. I did this on TV and it was such a disaster. I just can't get over that memory. Okay, I'm Barbara Fritchie. And the first poem I'm going to read is Outfits, and it's for Deborah Salazar. Skeleton earrings and wrists braceleted with strung glass hearts, we accessorize like grim twins, each bauble a serious point, each pair divided and shared. What fits? This morning you manage another contradiction, hold your lips above the flute and play Mozart with your eyes closed to last night's set, the couch cushions turned zipper side out. You kept the lights on that man. He said talk, and you talked until he came in his hand. The man beside me in the grass has red hair. He works conversation like a mantra. White noise, the arms race. I feel removed and my arm lies between us, vein traced, implicit as a gesture, but I can't make a move. We act like children, celibate, like guilty mothers, unfit, unkempt. Every month another deadline missed. A missing child's face marks a line of telephone poles, the stapled flyer we know by heart. Wrist stamped at the gay bar, we watch the strobes beneath a kinky movie. The rubber Susie affect fits like the face of a lover, but the man we love is in the room marked men, invisible as the ink on our wrists. Lizzie Borden. The professional polish, the click of patent heels, the puzzle piece muscles of a bodybuilder's pose, the points empty out, a busted briefcase spills its condoms. My honey blonde friend draws me a close-up in flesh tones, a mouth on a penis in Listerine. Men are pigs, she tells me, but he really loves you. Mostly the axes drip corn syrup, the sticky mixture of vampire blood and cat hair left over from the all-girl Halloween party last fall, but the scenario checks out. Each daddy strokes his pen beside the X. The girls freak him out. Blood bonded by synchronized menstruation, they tap their cigarettes, chicken crackles in the oven. At home, I make chocolate pie and talk about puppies. It's so dumb, but facts like love screw me up. A candlelit dinner, the flame explodes in my hand as I strike a match to burn the wicks where they stand like black question marks between us. Grim Lizzie checks her watch, then reads apartment numbers in the cinder block hallway. On the wall, a red metal box reads, "In case of emergency, break glass." She gets a kick out of that, like two lovers smash their glasses in the fireplace for a perfume commercial. This night, she thinks, is nothing unusual. Her footsteps echo between deadbolt locks.
You don't replace Jane Pauley?
Wait, I would be an awful MC.
You don't want somebody like
Isn't that weird? Can you imagine?
advertising executive that interviews all the people on WRKF. Is also a writer.
I was thinking of Ava.
It would be good.
The first poem,
You need to get a lot closer to the
a lot closer.
maybe half this.
Does the mic need to be tilted up a little bit, perhaps?
Just set it here.
There you go.
If you look
A little
that
bit more.
way.
Okay, good. That's good.
Say
Okay.
that again?
Okay. I'm Laura Rosenthal. I'm afraid of heights. That's why I live below sea level. The first poem is called Oh. How happened it this one time, being sound, we compared ourselves to something about the place, quince and cypress. Painfully, the air calls for bathing. There are problems in the polis, no grace period. Wet space blooms. So late the baby coughs, the song of the unproved prover. Bodies of work float face down the river. There were never so many birds on the lake about my head. This is called Cock and Balls.
Let's see. Color. The air conditioner's being blown.
At least it's not like a fountain. The fountain is good. The scariest thing I ever saw, have ever seen, I was 6, and it seemed like it was. It was just a flash. A meaty tube of skin, black hairiness between my father's legs. It was my daddy's thing, and I did not want to think about it. I thought. So that's what it is underneath the tweed lap I lay my head on. That! I lamented the deception which is dog in man, and paid the boy next door M&Ms to show me his sweet toy-like penis, scar still pink, balls hairless. He named the thing and spelled it Penis. I smelled it, warm like a cookie, sour like a baby. That scent stayed with me. It was memory seduced me at 14 when I succumbed to the sweet, dirty perfume of a boy whose cock was so hot and hard inside his sweaty jeans. It hurt, he said, and would I kiss it, please? He came instantly, young sperm, yeasty as fresh bread. Later I met a lot of pricks, had sacramental sex, had sons, and in a sense got balls of my own. But somehow aroma was gone from the world. There was no turn-on, no sweet and sour electrons bonded sense to sense. My sense of the absurd was boundless. My sense of decorum grew dim. I did not know these things. I sensed them. I recognized the stranger in a bar in my mid-20s saying, "Hello, I am a famous poet. Can I come in your hair?" "Boy poets are bred in mother's pot," I hollered. "Utopia is a cock in every kettle. First, let me smell you." I breathed in dog and mountain, leather, wool, and bourbon. There was matzo ball soup on his breath. I cook politically, and he makes sense. I fell in love with the stench. His penis, when erect, is distinguished by an expressive scar cut by a canine tooth. We fuck like wolves in certain phases of the moon.
Let's check your volume, 'cause I had to turn up for her.
Okay, my volume is going to be bigger than hers.
Yes.
I got a bigger volume.
Of what?
My name is Andrei Codrescu. I edit Exquisite Corpse, $15 a year from the English Department, Louisiana State University, Baton Rouge, Louisiana, 70803. Poem. The supreme test of one's poem is in the bathtub, standing up naked, hands above the head like a Gothic Christ. And if the picture in the mirror is of a fat belly swaying between the forks of a black grin, it's still okay, but no poem. Work. At night, the day is constantly woken up by exploding dream objects until all our days are tired and collapse on our hearts like loud zippers breaking in the middle. I sleep in the daytime with my head on the piano. I sleep at night too, standing on the roof. I sleep all the sleep that is given me, plus the sleep of those who can't sleep, and the sleep of great animals who lie wounded and unable to sleep. I'm dead tired from the work everyone does ceaselessly around me, from the work the morning crowds are going to do after they are thrown up by the 1,000 miles of toast and cologne into the buses and subways, from the work the plants do to get water, from the labors of beasts looking for meat, from the labors of speaking, replying, writing, from the work going on inside me with 1,000,000 greedy cells beating the shit out of each other, from the work of the sun turning around and the earth turning around it. I'm tired in general and sleepy in particular. I have a great desire to move elsewhere. Power. Power is an inferiority complex wound up like a clock by an inability to relax. At the height of my power, I have to be taken to a power source in the woods where I am recharged. This power source is not actually in the woods. It's in my mother. It hums quietly in her heart like an atomic plant, and the place to plug in is her eyes. The urges. When the urge to strip becomes too much, I rub against a tree until it passes back into that core of myself where, besides stripping, urges such as bashing someone's head in lie still waiting for signs to proceed. Every day I look for incidents. My heart is a bomb with a very fine trigger. Sometimes a hair falls on my nipple and boom, the desire to strip or kill is loose, and look out, I've got my eye on you. Rubbing against trees is my only defense against myself. I smell like bark and there is a rustle of leaves when I pass. The yes log. Say yes to all and be condensed in fact. Poems are sermonettes for all the interlocking tremors in the land. The brain turns towards its great surprise like a revolving door holding a giant red ant. Surprised? It rains with gusto. What are we doing here with a recipe for fodder? Take 2 parts sand and 1 part lather. Mix with parsley, fry, and scatter. And then say yes to the precisely knotted whip which lashes down your succession and up your ancestry so that in touching each past or future face it can change you from shit to gold. Oh, stamp of hell, oh, electricity.
I'm Janet Wondra. I'm a native Californian. I've been in Baton Rouge for about 2 months now. And I used to work at Bookshop Santa Cruz, which I understand no longer exists. So greetings to all my pals in Santa Cruz. This first poem is called Pickup. Bring friends and feel no embarrassment and bad luck. Drinking passed away, who do not help, who do not want your eyes. See your heart must be from the land of miracles. Lucky numbers in the news and feel no world for hell. The blind blocks that can go wrong. Of anyone happy on television. Evil habits by name. Heart must be hands. Lost nature. Knowing the lover and a business location in people talking about you. Because there's no pity for those knowing they are evil spells, evil I'm known throughout the world for helping, and I do no wrong, past, present, the land of television. Bring friends, talking about people, have walked, stumbling, and the act, the mourning, influence, your enemies, the separated. I see you, fly out of, luck, the pity. I will call your enemies by name. Let me restore lost nature. The crippled have walked and the blind have seen. Lucky hands, lucky numbers, lucky day. For those may be too late, I'll tell, and in your 200 years, see me in the morning, come for it, drinking, look for signs, one visit, or I guarantee restore, stumbling, embarrassment, all does go wrong, even though television at night, evil spells, evil eye, and in need of hell, sincerity, tomorrow enemies by name, may be too late, remove influence, I come as seen, a place I know are people and bad, let me do it. You can see me remove, I will. I reunite what your money does, I guarantee. There's no come for tomorrow. Tell on television about your one visit. More than look for the crippled, I will call. Does money fly? Tell me. Or your hands? Does it seem anything can control through miles? Holy, 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 the money flies out of your hands. The blind see you on TV. Lord God Almighty, come to my door. This is called Proliferation. And it must be for Andrei because his name is in the first line. Andrei says, "Do you know Bill?" Linda says, "I didn't know you knew Cheryl." The first Linda says this, "But I don't. I know another Cheryl in the same New York." Too many people to know. When the new ones come, I say, "I can't know you." One place I lived, I went out only with men named Jim. See you later, alligator. Take your new face with you. I don't want to know about it. Too many people with brown hair, and if they're the same height or the same color eyes, we're doomed. The cops want to make a drawing of my lover, but I can't say enough about how he looked. He had 2 eyes, nice hair, 2 ears, a nose, a mouth I love to kiss, 2 arms, 2 legs. Any identifying marks or scars? He loved me.
Nice stuff. Well, it could well be. Yeah. Which in that case, I'll tell Joan that. Yeah. Well, absolutely. You know, I really like your response to it. But I also thought about moving there myself.
Yeah, it's a great spot in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
You know, he's doing this and he says,
Took my son to the Surfers Museum.
Oh, really?
Yeah, have you seen that?
You know, I haven't. I've been,
And I read
I've
this
spent a lot
article,
of time
this is
down
in
there,
the
but I
paper,
haven't
you know.
been in the museum.
That sounds really
Well, this
good.
is the
It
one
says,
out on
what's
the
this place
point
where all these
Right.
people hang
where,
out?
you know, there's kind of a park and everything. They have these boards
It's called the
standing up
Bible.
beside,
It's on
you know, and
Chinese.
some removed like a museum saying this was
Usually
usually
works
this
on similar ways.
family and all their kids go to those places.
Oh
Oh
yeah.
Days,
Sounds
yeah.
like a cake.
Yeah.
Because you know, I get to.
She's right. She's
I get to
she's a little
work for Chancellor's
familiar
Act.
in this
I said, well,
was-
and like, you know, like he
It's
didn't
not
want to.
like it's so hard. It's very conventional, actually.
And I said,
It's
well,
like the most conventional.
let me know how to do it.
And they're all varying stripes, you know,
Yeah,
some
it's like fine.
Or he was gonna, I guess I only need one of the.
Because the 2 hearts were kind of
But others are
I have never seen anything like it. Because you know,
people.
you look like you could make some kind of money for TAs,
Yes.
you know, this and that. I mean, just something professional.
Face shot of
He
you.
just pipes up and says, I mean, he didn't know. I mean, he said, I like this speech.
Filling
I mean, he
shot.
had no idea what the fuck she was saying.
Andre,
Do you know that your mercury assault?
just trying to get a good individual shot of everybody.
Amalgams can poison.
Okay.
Hello, Joan. This is your friend John from Baton Rouge. As per our conversation about a week ago when I called to make sure that you were okay after the earthquake, I've assembled a group of my friends here in Baton Rouge where we have something of a poetry scene of our own, and we decided to make a tape for your program. The people that are included on this tape are myself, John Verlenden, Richard Collins, who is a native Californian from the San Fernando Valley, who's been here in town for about 8 years, teaches at the university. Deborah Salazar, who is the daughter of an immigrant couple from Ecuador, and she grew up in a little town not far outside of Baton Rouge. There is also going to be Barbara Fritchie, who is a native Baton Rougean, who is a director also of the Baton Rouge Gallery here, but she's been a poet much longer than an art gallery director. We also have from a little town across the river called Port Allen, Laura Rosenthal. Our only national personality, I suppose, is Andrei Codrescu, who's just simply part of our scene here in Baton Rouge, and some of your listeners might recognize his voice from National Public Radio, where he does commentary on all things considered and also book reviews during the week, I think at about a noontime hour. I don't think they've gotten the given Andre the power to read his poetry over the National Public Radio yet, so your viewers will get a first on this, your listeners, that is. Also, we have an extra person, added attraction, a Californian who's only been here for 2 months and is a member of the MFA writing program at LSU. Her name is Janet Wondra, and no doubt some of your listeners will recognize her name. She was in town in Santa Cruz from 1977 to 1981, so she tells me, and I'll let her introduce herself when the time comes. I hope you enjoy what is a little showcase of Baton Rouge poetry out there in California. We have been thinking of you all quite a lot, and hope that everyone is doing well. If the poetry that you hear tonight raises your spirits, then let it be so. Thanks, Joan.